Questions 1 through 10 on the 2006 Grade 11 Fermat Math Contest. The value of 1 over 4 times 5 is 1 over 4 times 5 is equal to 1 over 20. And they've got the answer choices in decimals, so no problem. 1 over 20 in decimal format is 0.05. So number 1, the answer is B. If 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 12 plus 9 plus 6, then x equals 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 12 plus 9 plus 6. If you add the left side, you will get 9x. And if you add the right side, you get 27. X is therefore 27 over 9. And that means x is equal to 3. So number 2, the answer is B. The value of 4 to the power of 3 divided by 10 to the power of 2 minus 6 to the power of 2. 4 to the power of 3 is 64. 10 squared is 100. And 6 squared is 36. So this becomes 64 over 100 minus 36 is 64. And 64 divided by 64 is equal to 1. So number 3, the answer is A. The value of this expression is, this expression written carefully, don't make any mistakes, just copying the question. So what do we have here? Well, under the square root sign, we've got square root of 9, which is 3. And we've got the square root of 1, which is 1. And then that's all to the power of 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 squared, or square root rather, the square root of 4, like that, is equal to 2. So what's in the brackets becomes 2. And then we're just left with 2 to the power of 4, and that is equal to 16. So number 4, the answer is C. 3 cubes have edges of lengths 4, 5, and 6. The average of their volumes is. Well, if a cube has a side length of s, its volume is equal to s cubed. So they give you the edges of these 3 cubes. So the average of their volumes, well, the first volume would be 6 to the power of 3, this guy. Then the next one would be 5 to the power of 3 for that cube. And the last cube would be 4 to the power of 3, which is that cube. And then to find their average, you add them and divide by the number of cubes in this case, which is 3. So 6 to the power of 3 is 216. 5 to the power of 3 is 125. And 4 to the power of 3 is 64, all divided by 3. And that would be, if you do the math, 135. So number 5, the answer is E. The regular price for a t-shirt is $25 and the regular price for a pair of jeans is $75. If the t-shirt is sold at a 30% discount and the jeans are sold at a 10% discount, then the total discount is. So 30% discount, so 0.3 times $25. That's the discount calculation for the t-shirt. And then 10% discount, so 0.1 times 75. And that is for the pair of jeans. So this is going to be 7.5 plus 7.5, and that equals 15. So the total discount on these 2 items is $15, and that means 6 is A. What is the smallest positive integer p for which the square root of 2 to the power of 3 times 5 times p is an integer? Well, in this question, there's a couple of different approaches, right? You can just start plugging in these values and figure out it that way, which one gives you an integer. And that'd probably be pretty quick. But the way I would approach it a little bit better mathematically, is first write it out, right? And then understand that we have to take the square root, and if we do, it's got to be an integer. Now this is 2 to the power of 2 times 2 times 5 times p. So p, when combined with this and this, must give a perfect square. This is already a perfect square, so if you take the square root of that, it's going to give you an integer. So if p was 2 times 5, that would work because it would make this 2 times 2, that's a perfect square. And then if p was 2 times 5, we'd combine this 5 with that 5, and that's also a perfect square. So that's the way I would do it. It's a little bit better mathematically. So that means that p is equal to 2 times 5, which is 10. And like I said earlier, you can also just do it the long way, which is keep plugging in these values, answer choices, into this equation and see which one gives you an integer. Either way would work. So number 7, the answer is C. If Karina had added the numbers p and q correctly, the answer would have been 16. By mistake, she subtracted q from p. Her answer was 4. What is the value of p? P plus q is giving her an answer of 16. But if she does p minus q, it gives her an answer of 4. So this is the system of equations we have to solve. We can do that very quickly by adding them. If you add them, you get 2p. Q's cancel, and those numbers give a sum of 20. And therefore, dividing through, p is 10. That's it. Number 8, the answer is D. In the diagram, the value of x is. So first, look at that right there. The sum of the angles about a line have to add up to 180. So that's 70. So therefore, this angle in here has got to be 180 minus 70. Correct? And that is equal to 110. And then the sum of the angles of a triangle add up to 180. So in this big triangle, ABC, it's 110 plus this angle, which is 20 plus x, plus this angle, which is also 20 plus x. So solving, we get 180 is equal to, let's see here, 150 plus 2x. Put 150 on the other side, and we get 30 is equal to 2x, and therefore x is equal to 15. So number 9, the answer is A. In the diagram, two rectangles intersect at exactly 2 points A and B. The maximum possible finite number of points of intersection of any two rectangles is. So we have to figure out, if you have two rectangles, what's the maximum number of ways they can intersect, or the number of points they can intersect. All right, a little bit of trial and error, hopefully not too much trial and error. I'll purposely do it in a way that we don't get the right answer, and just to show you that, there's nothing wrong with trial and error. Okay, let's do it like this. So here's my rectangle. All right, well, you get the idea. How many times does this intersect? Well, we got 1, 2, and these ones, it looks like 3 and 4. Okay, so 4 is one possible candidate, but something tells me this is not the right answer, just because we've got much bigger answers. We got 12, 6, and 8. Okay, no problem. Let's go back to the drawing board, and let's do it in a way that gives us more intersections. All right, so how can I give more intersections here? If I draw it like this, like that, how many points of intersection do I have now? Well, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over here we got 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right? So there you go. That's the maximum you can get for this question. And therefore, number 10, the answer is D.